My parents forgot my wedding date and went on vacation. What I did at their anniversary was brutal. Picture this. You're standing in your wedding dress 5 minutes before you're supposed to walk down the aisle, and you realize your parents aren't there. Not stuck in traffic, not running late. They're on a beach sipping cocktails because they forgot. They literally forgot your wedding date and booked a vacation instead. That's exactly what happened to me. And what I did to get back at them on their anniversary? Let's just say they'll never forget another important date again. But before we get to the revenge part, let me take you back to where this nightmare began. Because trust me, you need the full context to understand why I went nuclear on their special day. My name is Elena. I'm 28 years old, and I've spent most of my life being the easy daughter. You know the type. The one who doesn't cause drama, the one who understands when plans change, the one who gets overlooked because, well, I'll be fine, right? I always am. My older sister Vanessa, complete opposite. She's the golden child, the one who demands attention and gets it, every single time. Growing up, if Vanessa had a piano recital, it was a family event. Red circle on the calendar, dinner reservations after, the whole 9 yards. Me? I once won a state-level science competition, and my parents forgot to pick me up from the awards ceremony because Vanessa needed help shopping for homecoming dresses. I told myself it didn't bother me. I was mature. I understood that some kids just need more attention. I'd be fine. Spoiler alert, I was not fine. I was building up resentment like a pressure cooker, and my wedding day was about to make that thing explode. Let me introduce you to Marcus, my now husband, and honestly the best thing that ever happened to me. We met 4 years ago at a coffee shop when he accidentally grabbed my lavender latte and I grabbed his black coffee. We both took a sip at the same time, made the exact same disgusted face, and burst out laughing. He asked me to dinner right there to make up for the coffee crime, and I said yes. Marcus comes from this huge, warm, chaotic family. 5 siblings, parents who've been married 35 years and still hold hands at the dinner table. The first time I went to their house for Sunday dinner, his mom hugged me for a full 30 seconds, and his dad insisted on showing me his terrible dad jokes collection. I actually cried in the car on the way home because I didn't know families could just be that nice to each other without any drama or favorites or conditions. When Marcus proposed on a hiking trail at sunset, ring in a little wooden box he'd carved himself, I was so happy I couldn't even speak. I just nodded and cried and probably looked like a complete mess, but he knew what I meant. Planning the wedding was actually fun, mostly because Marcus's family was so involved and excited. His sisters helped me pick my dress, his mom connected me with an amazing caterer, his dad kept making jokes about finally getting another daughter. My family, well, I'm getting to that. I told my parents about the engagement immediately, literally called them from the parking lot after Marcus proposed. My mom said, "That's wonderful, honey," in that distracted voice that meant she was scrolling through her phone. My dad said, "Congratulations," and then asked if I'd heard about Vanessa's promotion. Classic. But whatever, I thought. The wedding would be different. This was a big deal. They'd show up for this. I set the date 14 months in advance. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Super cheesy, I know, but Marcus and I are both hopeless romantics and we thought it was perfect. I sent out save the dates 10 months before, actual printed ones with our engagement photos and the date in big bold letters. I followed up with formal invitations 3 months out. I texted reminders, I mentioned it at every family dinner. My parents said, "Yes, of course we'll be there," every single time. They seemed excited, or at least that's what I told myself. Mom helped me address some invitations. Dad asked about our honeymoon plans. Vanessa was my maid of honor because family obligation, even though I knew she'd make it somehow about herself. 2 months before the wedding, my parents mentioned they were thinking about taking a cruise, some last-minute deal they found. I didn't think much of it. They take trips all the time. 1 month before the wedding, I confirmed with everyone in my immediate family. "You're all coming, right? February 14th, 2 o'clock, St. Augustine's Chapel." Everyone said yes. Vanessa complained about her dress fitting. Normal stuff. 3 weeks before the wedding, my mom called to ask what I wanted for my birthday. My birthday is in April. The wedding was in February. I reminded her about the wedding. She said, "Oh, right, of course, honey. We're so excited." The week of the wedding, I was running on pure adrenaline and caffeine. Final dress fitting, confirming vendors, making sure the seating chart worked, trying to keep Marcus's mom from adding 17 more people to the guest list because they're practically family. The day before the wedding, I called my parents to confirm what time they'd arrive at the venue. My dad answered. He sounded weird, echoey. "Where are you?" I asked. Long pause. "We're on the cruise, honey. The one we mentioned." My brain literally couldn't process what he was saying. What cruise? "The Valentine's cruise. We got such a good deal. We're in the Caribbean right now, actually. The weather is beautiful." I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. "Dad, my wedding is tomorrow." Another long pause. "Your wedding is tomorrow?" Not even a question about which day it was, just complete blank confusion, like I'd told him I was graduating from a school I'd never attended. "February 14th, Dad, Valentine's Day, the wedding I've been planning for over a year, the one you gotta save the date for, and an invitation, and 17 text reminders." I heard him talking to my mom in the background. Muffled conversation. Then my mom got on the phone. "Elena, honey, we're so sorry. We must have gotten the dates mixed up. We thought the wedding was in March." "Mom, it's been February 14th since I got engaged. It's literally been on the calendar for over a year." "Well, we can't exactly get off the cruise ship, sweetheart. We're in the middle of the ocean. Can you postpone?" Can I postpone? My wedding that's happening in 24 hours because they booked a vacation on the same day and forgot? "No, Mom, I cannot postpone. There are 200 guests arriving tomorrow. We have vendors, a venue, a caterer. Marcus's entire family is already in town." "I'm sure they'll understand if we're not there, honey. You know we'd be there if we could." "But you could have been there. You just forgot." I hung up. I didn't trust myself to say anything else. Then I called Vanessa, thinking maybe she'd stayed behind, but nope. She went on the cruise too. "Family bonding time," she said cheerfully. She also thought the wedding was in March, apparently, even though she was supposed to be my maid of honor and had her dress and everything. None of them were coming. My entire immediate family had forgotten my wedding date and left the country. I sat on the floor of my apartment and cried for an hour. Marcus found me there, held me, told me it would be okay. His mom immediately shifted into overdrive, recruiting his sisters to fill in, rearranging the ceremony so his dad could walk me down the aisle if I wanted. His family was amazing, but it wasn't the same. The wedding itself was beautiful. Marcus cried when he saw me. We said our vows and meant every word. The reception was fun, but every time I looked at the empty seats where my parents should have been, where my sister should have been standing beside me, I felt this hollow ache. My parents sent flowers with a card that said, "Congratulations, sorry we couldn't make it." Like they'd missed a casual brunch, not my wedding. I didn't talk to them for 2 weeks after the honeymoon. They called a few times, left messages saying they hoped I wasn't upset, that these things happen, that we could do a nice dinner when they got back to celebrate. When I finally answered, I was calm. Cold, but calm. "I'm not interested in a makeup dinner," I told my mom. "You missed my wedding. You forgot the most important day of my life and went on vacation instead." "Elena, don't be dramatic. You're married now. That's what matters. We'll see the photos." That's when I decided they needed to understand what they'd done, and I knew exactly when to make my point. My parents' 30th wedding anniversary was 4 months away, June 12th. They'd been planning this huge party for over a year, even longer than I'd planned my wedding. They'd rented a country club, hired a band, invited everyone they'd ever met. It was going to be their big celebration, their moment. I waited until 2 weeks before their anniversary party. I'd been playing the dutiful daughter since my wedding, showing up to family dinners, acting normal. They thought everything was fine, that I'd gotten over it. Then I called my mom. "Hey Mom, Marcus and I are thinking about taking a trip. There's this amazing deal for a 2-week tour of Europe. We'd leave June 10th. "That sounds wonderful, honey. You two deserve a nice vacation." "Great, so we won't be able to make your anniversary party. Hope you understand." Silence. "Elena, you can't miss our anniversary." "Why not? You missed my wedding." "That was different. We made a mistake with the dates." And I'm making a choice with mine. I choose not to come. My dad got on the phone. Elena, be reasonable. This party is important to us. We've been planning it for over a year. Really? 14 months? Did you send out save the dates? Because I did. Did you send reminders? Because I did. 17 of them, actually. This is childish. No, Dad. Childish is forgetting your daughter's wedding and not even apologizing properly. This is me showing you exactly how it feels. I hung up. Vanessa called 30 seconds later, furious. You can't do this to Mom and Dad. Their anniversary is a huge deal. So was my wedding, Vanessa, but that didn't stop you from going on a cruise. Over the next 2 weeks, my phone exploded. Calls, texts, voicemails. My parents were panicking. They tried guilt-tripping me. They tried bribing me. They tried getting other relatives to intervene. I blocked most of them. 3 days before their anniversary party, my mom showed up at my apartment. She looked terrible, like she hadn't slept. For the first time in my life, I'd actually gotten through to her. Elena, please. I know we messed up. I know we hurt you, but please don't miss our anniversary. Why is your anniversary more important than my wedding was? It's not. You're right. We should have been there. We should have made it a priority. Finally, an actual acknowledgement. We're sorry, she said, and she was crying. Real tears. We took you for granted. We always have. You're so independent, so capable. We just assumed you'd be fine without us. But we should have been there. We should have been there for you your whole life, not just at your wedding. I wanted to stay mad. I'd been practicing staying mad for 4 months, but she was actually seeing me for the first time in years. I need you to understand something, I said. I'm not the easy daughter anymore. I'm not the one you can forget about because I'll be fine. If you want me in your life, you need to actually show up for my life, not just the convenient parts. We will. I promise. Please, Elena, come to the anniversary, not for us, for you, so you don't have regrets. I thought about it. Really thought about it. I'll come, I said finally, but on one condition. The night of the anniversary party, the country club was packed, everyone dressed up, music playing, champagne flowing. When it was time for speeches, my dad took the microphone. Before we celebrate 30 years together, my wife and I need to say something. He looked at me. So did my mom. This was my condition. 4 months ago, we made the worst mistake of our parenting lives. We forgot our daughter Elena's wedding date and went on vacation instead. We weren't there when she walked down the aisle. We weren't there for the most important day of her life. And when she told us how much we'd hurt her, we dismissed her feelings. The room was dead silent. Elena had every right to skip tonight, to make us feel what she felt. But she's here anyway, because she's a better person than we deserved. So before we celebrate our marriage, we want to celebrate hers properly. They played our wedding video on the projector screens. All of my parents' friends watched me marry Marcus, watched his dad walk me down the aisle, watched me wipe away tears during the ceremony, knowing my family wasn't there. When it ended, my mom took the microphone. We can't get that day back. We can't undo missing it. But we can promise to never take Elena for granted again. We're sorry, sweetheart. We love you. And we're so proud of the woman you've become, despite our failures. I was crying. Marcus was crying. Half the room was crying. We did eventually celebrate their anniversary that night, but they made sure everyone knew they'd almost lost me first, that they'd had to earn their way back. Things aren't perfect with my family now, but they're different, better. My parents actually call me regularly. They remember important dates. They ask about my life and listen to the answers. Vanessa and I are working on our relationship too. And when they throw parties now, there's always a toast to me and Marcus first, a reminder that they don't take their children for granted anymore. Sometimes people need to feel exactly what they've done to you before they understand the damage. My parents forgot my wedding, so I almost forgot their anniversary. And in doing that, I finally made them remember me. If you've ever been the overlooked child, the one who's expected to understand and forgive and be fine, remember this. You don't have to be fine. You're allowed to demand better. You're allowed to show people what their actions feel like. Sometimes that's the only way they'll finally see you. Thanks for listening to my story. If you made it this far, drop a comment letting me know if you think I went too far or if my parents had it coming. And if you've got your own family drama story, I want to hear it. Hit that subscribe button for more real stories about standing up for yourself when family lets you down. Until next time, remember, you teach people how to treat you. And sometimes the best lesson is letting them experience exactly what they put you through.